Julius Malema steal 4 million rand from the EFF. Was illegal force used to eject the EFF from the National Assembly? Did the EFF's plan backfire during the State of the Nation address? And does the EFF already know how much money President Zuma is supposed to pay back? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpotseju. They say he's a dictator. He's undemocratic. He is corrupt and lives a lavish lifestyle which does not reflect what he claims to stand for. Others say he's not even the founder of the EFF. His party is now planning disciplinary actions against one of its own MPs who questioned his leadership style, they say. Did he try to negotiate his way back to the ANC? Did he buy a Golf GTI using EFF funds? Did he steal that 4 million rand from the EFF? Is he conniving against fellow EFF members? Last week, he led his forces in a failed attempt to get the president to answer a question which was not scheduled for the State of the Nation address. This left him physically ejected from the National Assembly with other EFF members. Other MPs accused the EFF of lacking a sense of occasion by insisting to ask a question to the president. This is question time, and my guest is Julius Malema. Julius, welcome to the show. It's been quite hectic 5 days, I must say, but thank you very much for making time. Let's start with the interview that I had last week with Rufuno Gogoro and other EFF leaders last week. And there's a clip of some of the things that they said, which I would just like you to reply to.
The problem is that our leader, Julius Malema, has deviated from the founding principle of the organization. He has reduced our organization into his own spaza shop. He has given himself much power to dictate over us who should occupy which position and so forth, and also the finances of the organization.
Those are quite serious allegations.
There's nothing serious there, man. You want me to respond to a clown? I've got serious issues to deal with, issues of national importance. I can't be chasing after clowns who go around making false accusations and toilet perspectives. I do not have time for such.
Do you reject what Rufuno Gogoro said?
I'm not going to respond to non-entities, political non-status. I have no time for such people. This platform here should be used to deal with national questions, issues that are going to help this organization and the country move forward, not some nobodies who come here and abuse this platform. I really do not have time for such things.
Who is Rufuno Gogoro?
I don't know him. I thought you'll tell me because you interviewed him.
Yes, because he claimed to be a leader of the
but
EFF.
I just see a loose molecule running all over here calling himself EFF and threatening to remove the leadership of the EFF physically. And he makes that threat here at the SABC when he knows the address of the EFF. That's where we are. So anyone looking for us, they must not come and look for us from you. They must come to us directly. We'll teach them a lesson.
Did you steal 4 million rand as it is alleged by him and other EFF members?
What is that? They should have given you documents. But since when is Mpotseju from Seshiwe police officer? You are just a presenter. They must go to police station. Anyone who has stolen money, report him to the police, let the police arrest that person. So they come here because they think they are so beautiful to parade their faces on television. I have no time for such things. Anyone with such evidence, go to the police and not to Mpotseju.
And there's also Andile. He was manhandled when he tried to brief my colleagues in the media last week. He has also come up with very strong allegations as well.
Well, I don't know Andile's allegations. Now, at least now you are talking, you are referring to a person. I've got no idea what are the Andile's allegations.
Okay.
All what I know about Andile's incidents in Cape Town is that fighters went to take an EFF t-shirt from him and they said, you cannot attack our organization wearing our merchandise. If you want to attack us, you're free to do so, but don't wear our merchandise. The ANC people attack us every day. The media, the opposition attack us every day, but we never go to their press conferences because they do not use our material to attack us.
But why then was he followed to the second or an alternative venue where he was no longer wearing EFF regalia?
I only know of one incident which was reported to me, which the media inquired about, which was the incident where a T-shirt was taken. I don't know if they followed him to where. I've got no idea of other places.
But now, why did you condemn?
I did. In the press conference we had in Cape Town, I said it is extremely wrong for people to try and muzzle others who disagree with them, but agree with the fighters that no one should attack the EFF wearing an EFF material.
Are you concerned at all, Julius, that there's a lot of things that is being said or that are being said, both in the media and privately, about the EFF and your leadership style?
Yeah, no. I'm very happy that actually many things are being said, because it means this is a living organization. You can't talk about dead bodies. So the fact that you are talking about us, we are celebrating negatively or positively, it matters not. We are part of a bigger political structure of South Africa, and it's important for people to speak about us.
But what would inform all these allegations against you? Do people hate you that much?
No, they don't hate me. Remember, people don't only speak a negative. You might be hearing the negative ones because you want to hear negativity, but there are a lot of people who speak very good of us. There are a lot of people who celebrate the organization. Actually, the EFF is the fastest growing political party in South Africa, and we are very happy with that. So where there is negative, there is positive.
Okay. Let me just call upon another clip, which I hope you will respond to.
How could the 4 million go missing from the account of an organization that is perceived as an alternative for our people?
Look, he had to maintain the lifestyle that he had after losing everything that he had. He had to maintain that. He's very expensive.
You are very expensive, they say. Did any money go missing in the EFF account?
There's no money missing in the EFF account. And the good thing is that the EFF now receives funds from Parliament, the IEC and legislatures. So for it to get another money from those institutions, it must first account for the previous money received from those institutions. So only then we'll know that the EFF has got financial problems. The EFF is busy now auditing its books. Financial year end is coming in March, and let's see if EFF will not pass the audit. We've got very strong financial systems in the EFF. We are accountable, and there's no one who can steal money from the EFF. And remember that in the EFF, 3 people signed. That time it was the commander-in-chief, the national coordinator, and the finance person. So Julius Malema can't steal money with his own signature alone. Mpora Magaza was a signatory. Lien Mateis was a finance person. There is no single cent missing in the EFF. We are going to account for every little cent we have received from government.
Are you worried about the wrangles that are happening within the EFF, which would even result in somebody like Andile being taken to a disciplinary hearing?
I'm not worried. All organizations go through the same thing. I mean, we've just seen in Mpumalanga the ANC and SABC people beating each other up, blood on the floor. So far, there's no blood on the floor in the EFF.
Well, there could have been last week.
No, I'm saying there isn't.
Okay.
And you can't argue differently. There's no blood on the floor. There will never be blood on the floor. It's a growing organization. Okay. And growing organizations like this Red Sea has reached a point where it has to cleanse itself of staff riders. Okay. And that's what it's exactly doing now.
We'll talk about the growth of the organization just after the break. We're taking a quick break. Please don't go away. This is Question Time.
You can't have a gut feeling about other people's gut feeling.
Ngaba has continued the tradition of passing stories onto the next generation, using a platform that offers stories to a far more greater audience.
Zombie no go unless you tell them to go.
This is what the audiences all over the world knew Fela Kuti for.
Join Musam Khalifi on Afro Showbiz every Saturday at 19:30 CAT.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Our guest today is Julius Malema, leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters. Now, Julius, the process of cleansing this big organization, is it not weakening the EFF in any way?
It's strengthening it. I've never presided over a national project that failed in my life, and I'm not going to start now. You are dealing with a very different political animal. And I know why the EFF is under such attack and talks everywhere. Everybody has seen that this thing is assuming a life of its own. It's unstoppable. The National People's Assembly, which elected the leadership, was very successful. And it had a lot of people who thought that was the big funeral of the EFF. So since that conference, which was the first critical test to be passed by the organization. Since we have passed that test, we have been at the receiving end of those who do not agree with the EFF. But we are holding it together, we are pushing it. The only thing that makes me happy is that the leadership is solid. It's united and is continuing to lead the organization that has got a very clear program of action.
You are accused of purging other members. And in fact, Andile said on this show last week that the reason why he wanted to brief the media included the fact that he was going to tell the world that you had wanted to go back, or rather, let's not talk about the going back yet. You wanted to cut a deal with the ANC to say, help us get rid of 7 EFF MPs, and therefore we will, for lack of a better word, behave during the State of the Nation address and not ask questions.
No, the ANC, the way we are now at each other's throat, they would have released that evidence by now. If any person who thinks properly in South Africa, if Julius Malema had approached the ANC to remove 7 members of the EFF in exchange for a well-behaved conduct during the State of the Nation, the ANC would have released that information by now. I mean, we are now called cockroaches, we are called all manner of things. That would have been a weapon in the hands of the enemy called the ANC. So if the ANC till to date can't say, yeah, this is what you asked us to do, who's Andile? There is no such a thing. And he is a victim of people who are used by the ANC to use him to destabilize a potential radical left opposition to the African National Congress. So he will learn on his own. I'm saying to you now, you should have challenged him. Andile produce a proof. The one who alleges has got the honors to prove as to where this allegation comes from. The ANC would have come out, Andile would have produced proof, Andile's friends who are at a personal battle with Julius Malema would have produced proof. None of them says those things except gossip and just talking non-factual issues about the organization and myself.
Do you want to get rid of Andile Mphoramakatsa, Member of Parliament, Litchfield Shabalala, and others?
You know what is painful about Andile is that we called him as the officials of the EFF, sat him down and said to him, you are an asset. We don't want to lose you. But at the rate you are going, we are realizing that the organization will have to take action at some point unless you conduct yourself within the structures of the organization. If you've got a damning report about a leader of your organization, why do you take it to other members of another party and call it revolutionary in that way? Give it to Dalimpofu. He's the chairperson of the National Disciplinary Committee of the EFF, or give it to any other leader of the EFF you trust, because we cannot all be lost hopes. There should be somebody. We don't want to get rid of anyone in parliament. Those who are going to be removed from parliament, they would have removed themselves. I mean, how do you wake up in the morning and attack the organization in public that it wants to remove you when the organization has got no such plans? When I was closing the National People's Assembly, I said no one will be removed from parliament on the basis that he declined or accepted nomination in this elective assembly.
Do you still value him?
Well, we value him, but we are extremely disappointed by his conduct.
Let's get to other matters. The allegations have just been going on and on and on. You have said it on record. You are not going to be competing with a pig in the mud, following what Gayton Mackenzie has said. Why do you think it is not important for you to clarify?
Why should I be clarifying open letters that get written by nobodies? I mean, Gayton is not at my level. A person at his level called Baloi in our office actually responded through a letter. So he must debate with people at his level. I mean, it's not my match. I mean, he tried a party and we tried a party. He failed completely. So let Gayton do what he wants to do. I'm not going to engage with him in a mudslinging. I do not have time for such.
Are you not worried that what he says can dent your image?
No, it's not for the first time, and it will not be for the first time. Remember, he wrote me an open letter to me during the heated moment of the elections, where it was supposed to tarnish my image and destroy chances of the EFF emerging in the elections. But instead, his own open letter destroyed his own party. He wanted to destroy the EFF. This is our game, man. He doesn't know it. He must stay out of it.
Okay. Let's get to the State of the Nation address. Did the plan backfire?
There's no plan that backfired. We stood up to ask questions, and the president and the speaker refused as an opportunity to hear the president answering the question.
We'll explore more about that question only after the break. This question time, please don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. My guest today is EFF leader Julius Malema. Now, Julius, you would have loved to remain in that house, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And you were physically ejected.
Illegally. Manhandling of any human being without his or her permission is an assault. And we're considering to sue a Minister of Police, including the Speaker of Parliament and Parliament itself, because we are assaulted by police and removed us at a place we had all the right to be at. Remember, we voted to be there.
Sure.
No one was doing us a favor. So, and it's also illegal to bring police. I always hear this argument, the Speaker has got a right to bring police. They say only if there is a threat to life. How can a question of when is the president going to pay the money be a threat to life? How can a question that says, what method are you going to use? E-wallet, ShopRite cash facility, or are you going to pay cash? You know, there was no fight.
How much do you want him to pay?
He must pay for everything that is non-security, which was built in that house. That's what the public protector says. So the finance department is the one that has got an obligation to count at things that are non-security features in the house and then say to him, this is how much you must pay.
Why don't you pressurize the finance department, as you say, to come to Parliament and tell you that this is how much the president has to pay? Because if you're saying, President Zuma, go and pay, tell us how much are you paying, it basically means that you have done the calculations, which you're clearly saying it's the responsibility of finance and probably the Minister of Police, as it was said.
Remedial actions of the public protector says the president, working with the finance department and other relevant ministries, shall determine how much president must pay.
Yes.
So he's the head. Why should I go and look for the legs when I've got the head? The head must ensure that proper calculations are made and presented before him, and he must execute as such. So the president owes it to all of us to pay the money.
Now, in the event that they follow the processes that are currently underway, where the police minister has to determine which are security features and which are not, why are you not patient?
No, the president is not saying wait for the police minister to calculate how much I must pay. He says the police minister must determine who must pay. Police minister cannot have powers that overrule public protector, Chapter 9 institution, which has already determined who must pay. So instead of saying, no, I'm waiting for the amount, he says, I'm waiting for the minister of police to tell me who must pay. The man is denying payment.
Now, you have a court process which is underway. The DA has challenged, the powers, basically, of the public protector, whether her recommendations or findings, rather, should be binding or not. Don't you think that those are some of the technicalities that are going to delay this cry that you have that the president must pay?
That's hypocrisy. I mean, when he fired Diana Pule, he didn't understand the powers of the public protector. When he fired Begi Cele, he didn't understand the powers of the public protector. He must never come with such an excuse to us. He must pay. Whether there is a court challenge, that is an academic exercise. We have been acting on remedial actions of the public protector. Why should it change today? Because it's the president. The whole of African continent today is in its knees because of the protection of one individual in all these countries that have gone down, called the president. And we are following the same thing today. That's what pained me, because we've got lessons from other countries. What went wrong? Protection of one individual, called the president, is what brought those countries down. We are doing the same in South Africa. We were the last one to be liberated. We should have learned from other African continents as to what went wrong. Why did the democracies that they fought for so much didn't work for them? President, all the time. You can go anywhere in Africa, you will know that a man called a president is the one that brought down those African states. We must not repeat the same mistake.
Did you have the same lack of confidence on President Zuma as you did when you were still in the Youth League?
I supported President Zuma. I thought he was a victim of a conspiracy, but he disappointed me in a big way, because all those things that his detractors said he's going to do, he did exactly all those things. Engaged in shenanigans which are not acceptable in society, refused to be held accountable. And I started challenging him inside the ANC. I didn't start it when I was outside the ANC. That's why I was expelled. I'm not a coward that goes on a different direction when the issues are on this direction. I confronted him and I said, this is not what we voted for. And if we have supported you to come and do the following, which those who opposed you said you were going to do them, then we are going to have to fight with you, Mr. President. Raise those issues sharply. In the NEC meetings of the ANC, were very few of us who used to challenge him directly.
Do you still meet behind closed doors with some ANC members who are not happy with the president.
I wish we had some such people who meet us behind closed doors, because it would have been an advantage for the EFF to utilize such people, but we do not have them. But I've got friends in the ANC who come to my weddings. I mean, the parties, Council was at my wedding. He even spoke at my wedding. He's my friend. Yeah. It's not a secret about it. But we don't agree on how politically we need to resolve challenges confronting South Africa. Not weddings. Wedding, I had only one wedding. Yeah.
There's an outcry over what the Speaker of Parliament, or actually what the chairperson of the ANC said in the Northwest, that cockroaches like Malema are really not good news. Are you worried about that? You claim so.
Yeah, I'm very worried.
Why?
mean, she has put a price tag on my head.
But you've called other people cockroaches before.
But who was I at that time? You are comparing apples with bananas. I was a president of the Youth League and not even a member of parliament.
Yes.
You cannot say a person who has taken an oath has got the right to say things that can be said by those who didn't take an oath.
Yeah, but
she's a Speaker of Parliament.
She wasn't speaking in her capacity as Speaker.
She can't take leave from herself. Today, you are not a presenter of Question Time because it suits you. Everywhere else you go, including in a taboo club in Santed, people are pointing at you as, the presenter of Question Time. Those who know you as important, they will call you by your name. You can't take leave from yourself. You are everything else that you are, everywhere else, wherever you are, sleeping or awake. So that's what Baleka is. The chairperson of the ANC, the Speaker of our Parliament, calling members of Parliament cockroaches, and then expect them to respect her when she resumes that chair as the Speaker of Parliament.
So would it have been better if she wasn't Speaker of Parliament?
Because at least Shem is an ordinary person, is a civilian. This person doesn't even know the rules of Parliament and all those type of things.
But why do you want to deal with according to the rules of Parliament when she's addressing an ANC gathering as chairperson of the ANC?
You can't take leave from yourself. The rules apply all the time. That's why if some of us misbehave somewhere else, we marched to Gauteng legislature, if you remember, and then there was a problem with the police. Then the deputy speaker of Gauteng said, I'm going to write to the Speaker of Parliament about the conduct of Mr. Malema. Yet I was marching there as a president of the EFF. But I didn't complain because I knew I can't take leave from myself.
Julius Malema, thank you very much for
Thank you.
That was Question Time for today. A big thank you to my guest and to you for watching the show. We welcome your feedback via email, questiontime@sabc.co.za, or you can tweet us our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mokotsebi. Let's continue the discussion. Have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.